Oops. All right. Give me a minute. That's a little bit too close in. I'll have to try to get a little bit of it at a time in there. Pull this a little closer so I can see. All right. Well, today I am doing a local landmark over in Provo. It's actually the LDS temple. And it was a quiet day. I was Ubering and oops, I got that. Nobody was in there. And it was just, perfect day, quiet. And you have some trees in here. And they're white puffballs of cotton tree or something like that. And it was just framing the temple just perfectly. And so yesterday I sketched it up. And today I'm going to just use some plain old ink and try to get it drawn up. And then later on, this is watercolor paper. So I might just add some, turn the white ones into like a pink cherry tree type of things framing the temple. And I might do that into a full video later on, but I want to at least get this done up. We'll do the main part of it and we'll see what it looks like afterward. I'm going to do this, try to do it without the straight lines so it will look a little more handmade, which it is. So let's get started. Any questions? Say hi. If you're wondering why I'm doing a temple, an LDS temple, well, I was out Ubering. And it was a perfect day. It had been raining all week long. And it was just so nice to have a day where everything was just beautiful and quiet and serene. So I'm like, I'm going to go and draw that. And that looks like it'd be a good thing to draw. So, and I was born LDS, born and raised and stuff. But I'm kind of a lapsed one. I drink, I gamble, I do all kinds of stuff. But I got lots of family members who are, and it's in the same community. So they do have some very beautiful temples, and they got some ugly temples. But this one is one of the really nice one. Actually, my dad, before they turned it into a temple, it was actually one of the BYU dorms for like some of the guys and stuff. But my dad actually stayed here before it burned down. I forget when it burned down. I'd have to look it up. But the building itself burned down when it was BYU, and then the LDS church bought it. And I think they even moved it across the street or something like that. I'm not sure. And they rebuilt it. And then they turned it into a temple. And it's such a unique looking building because it's not one of the normal LDS square looking ugly, buildings. It's actually a very unique looking building. So it's beautiful. It's nice that they were able to restore it because it's a huge brick one. So if you're ever in Provo, Utah, go over there and just go down the main street. They have On one side, they have the LDS temple that was the old BYU building that they restored, and further down they have the older center that has some really cool older buildings. And then on the right hand side, I'm going to get a picture of it, is the old library. It's like was one of the old dorms that they turned into a local library, and that's another building I want to take a picture of and do up in ink and or something. I'm just trying to practice doing my building, so you can always look it up online if you want to see what it looks like. That is the old LDS temple in Provo. Well, it's not old, it's kind of new. It's just been refurbished. And I drew this up yesterday after I took a picture of it. And this is about as close as I can get with what it looks like. It took me like 3 hours to do this one. I don't know if you can actually see, because I actually took an eraser and lightened it up so I can get the things in there. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all done today, but I'm going to try to get as far as I can. Then I'll probably do it off screen and get all the inking and the shadowing done on it, and then I'll maybe do a video and watercolor it. I haven't decided if I just want to do the flowers in watercolor or do like a rainbow, and have the building itself in black and white, because it's a man-made object, representing God and that type of stuff, and then having what God created in color. I haven't decided. I'll have to think about it. But that's the thing about art. It can, what one person sees in it can be completely different than what other people see in it. I see a beautiful building that was restored and turned into something else. Other people see an object of faith or whatever type of faith they believe in or don't believe in. And, it's all just whatever, which is cool. Make sure I can have our time soon. And I appreciate everybody popping in and popping out. There's a tree limb right here. I'll have to make sure I would love to do this like in oil or something like that, but I haven't gotten to the point of learning oil. That is in my future. I've only been doing this for about 2 or 3 months, actually full on trying to learn how to draw and stuff. The most I've ever done was like stick figures and like vanishing points with like a triangle going into the distance with kind of outlines of, I guess, would be mountains. That's about the most I've done. And stick figures. I am awesome at stick figures. So what are you guys good at? Are you good at stick figures, or like a full-on crafter or artist or painter, and you're just having a Sunday scrolling through, seeing what's out there? I like to go through and just scroll sometimes and see what people are doing, what type of artwork they're doing, if they're just talking, if they're making breakfast or lunch or just hanging out. It's really cool. Right now I'm just talking to myself, but hopefully some people I get some people who like to come and watch it afterwards, and then they I know I like to fast forward through some of these afterward, and I'll just kind of like put on fast forward, and the art just kind of develops. It's kind of cool. And I think there's a triangle here. You got the real Moroni figure on the top. The angel Moroni, I guess that's what they call the dude. And right now they have the conference going on up in Salt Lake, and so it was so quiet. Everything was like kind of just none of the places were open, so the temple was really, really quiet. No one was there. It was awesome. And so I was just able to walk around, and no people getting married or running around, no one saying, hey, can I send somebody to your house, and that type of stuff. Missionary to your house. I'm like, I'm good. And I got my coffee right here. I'm going to go to Starbucks. That's my church. I worship at the two-fin mermaid or siren. That's my church on Sundays. Normally I'll go over to Starbucks and doodle and hang out and stuff. That's where I do a lot of my pre-drawing, is over at Starbucks. I'll do a little, either some Zentangle or something like that, and when I'm done I go over to the baristas and say, hey, here's my Starbucks drawing for the day, and they're like, oh, cool. Did this in pencil. There's this one artist out there. I totally forgot to like and subscribe to him, but I like watching him. And he does like I guess it's just like graphite type of black and white type of paintings. It might even be pastels, but it's all like black and white and gray. And then afterward, he like tape off certain parts of it and then just use like color paint and oil paint and stuff like that, and it's just a burst of color over us. Where I kind of want to do this one, I want to do it like in just plain old normal ink pencil, and then tape off some of it and either get me some acrylics or something like that, or some oil. Maybe I'll go ask one of my, I have a friend he's an oil painter. Maybe he has some old ones that he wouldn't mind, he doesn't use too often. Maybe I can steal them for this project and stuff. Or I might do it in watercolor. I haven't decided. Maybe do the skies in blue and then just do a very faded color on the temple itself of like gray. And I know that it's kind of a reddish color, the main part of the brick and everything, and the rest of it, and just do a really faded color, and then everything else in really vibrant color. I don't know if I want to do kind of like a rainbow color of flowers. Then people might, oh, it's a pride thingy. And it's like, you know, it could be. I don't care. I am pride. So, but I just want color because it's spring and God made this stuff. So I want that to be represented. And not just some sort of political, you know, type of thing. It could be political. If that's what you see, then it's political. Or it could just be a very beautiful painting. I'm just going to put a vague outline of some of these trees. I'll try to fill it in later. I am not good with trees, so that's something I'm going to have to watch some videos on trees and stuff. There's the back part, because there's actually 4. Let's make sure I'm in the screen. So one thing, I have a hard time keeping myself in screen when I do this. I'm like, oh my God. Then half the time I come back later and realize I haven't actually been in screen the whole time. And it's like, oh my God. And this is actually, better get some of this tree in, or else I'm going to draw the building on it and I won't. And there's somebody doing something in my yard. My ring thing's going, there's somebody in your yard. Lovely. All right. There's another tree limb over here. It was just perfect. They had a walking path that went up through it, and the trees just looked like they're trying to reach out to the temple. And they were all done up in white blooms and white flowers and stuff, like the cottonwood flowers, the really white ones. And it's just perfect. I'll have to go back and see if I can have a picture and just have the angel on top and looking like the flowers are trying to grab the angel or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. It was just like kind of just a perfect day. The lighting was perfect, and yeah. So Mike going, I have got to draw this picture, and I showed it to my dad. My dad was like, oh my God, I want it. Maybe later on I'll have to do a full learn how to do oil painting and that type of stuff. That'd be awesome. How you doing today, everybody who's watching? Happy Sunday. Oh my gosh, I need to turn off my ring. Oh, I need to turn down my sound so I don't have an echo. Yeah, it took me about 3 hours to do this thing yesterday, because I've never really done houses or I've been trying to learn how to draw. I want to do one like this is just straight on, so it's just like 2-dimensional, but I want to get to the point where I can do like the 1 point vanishing point, or 2 point, or 3 point, you know, like you're a drone shot type of stuff. And I've been taking pictures of all these older buildings and stuff here, and when I'm out Ubering, and just trying to draw them. And this was just one of those drawings that I'm like going, dude, that window looks like he's got curlers in its hair. But yeah, it was just one of those spring day, perfect day to go out there and take pictures of some of these buildings. I have another picture of one of the schools. It's actually a museum now that my grandmother went to, and I want to draw that one. It's called the Neat Pete something building over in Payson. Is it Payson? I think. I don't know. One of the towns next to me. But yep. I need to work on these like skinnier windows and having them at the right angle. I've been watching some videos and how-tos and some tutorials as well. I drew one the other day and it kind of helped me figure it out a little bit. But I need to work on my shadows and that type of stuff. I'm still figuring that out. Get some gradually little trees in here. Just a light outline, because I'm also going to be putting the flowers in there, so I don't want to have the tree too much in detail yet. Maybe afterward I'll bring some more detail into the tree itself. They're actually all the way down. This almost looks like a creepy tree without the leaves on it. And it'll bring out the color of the spring. But right now they look like they're trying to grab the church or the temple. There we go. Ow. I know there's some shadowing over here. I'm going to just kind of do some dotting on it because I know it's shadowing from this on the picture. And same with this. Let's get on this side and then I'll move the picture over a little bit. And get the rest of it. My dad's actually in there watching the conference as well. Hopefully I didn't erase too much of this or lighten it too much so I can't see what the heck I'm doing. I like to get to the point where I can do these and they almost look like photos, like in oil or something like that. I have a friend here in town that he's really good at making people, and they actually look like they're photograph. He's so good at it. It's like you look at some of these people who can do this type of stuff and you're like, why aren't you famous? Why don't you do $1 million viewings and that type of stuff? They're just in your backyard and they're so talented. You're like going, if he can't make, I know he's like newly retired and everything, but my goodness, he was asking me like how to get in there like for YouTube and that type of stuff and how to market. And so I was telling him some of the stuff I've learned and some of the things that's out there that he might want to consider and stuff, because it's just on a lot of the things that he shows is just to other artists, and they don't really buy this stuff. They look at it all and see how what other people do, but they don't really actually buy other people's artwork. And I think that's some of the problem he was having, is like he's showing all his beautiful artwork to other art shows, but he's not really showing it to the people who actually buy it. And I was trying to talk to him about the different types of social media platforms and what ones might be best for what he's looking for and that type of stuff, and what he might want to consider, and some videos you might want to watch and decide what he is interested in. But he's like from a completely different generation, and he's lived his life, and now that he's retired and he has so much art in his house that he's running out of room, and he's like, but no one's buying. It's like, yeah, it's always tough. Let's see, I need a little depth on there. Some shadowing. This one as well, so you can actually see the glass. I'll come back here. It's like I want to go in and add some of the shadows to add depth, but I'm just trying to get the outline right now. But I also want to have a little bit of, make it look like it's one thing about doing it with pen. You can get a lot more detail than some of the thicker ones or even ink, which is kind of cool. And I know there's certain types of pens that, depending on how much pressure on it, you can like get grays and stuff out of it. It might be Uniball. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. Try to get some reflections in there. Ow. Okay, a little scoot in here. It kind of flares out a little bit. People popping in and popping out. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Even if you're just here for a couple minutes and seeing how far along I am, I do appreciate it. It's always interesting. I love doing that myself. I'll pop in and watch it for about a minute or so and see where they're at, and then try to remember and find them again later on to see how far they get. Maybe I'll even so I can find their channel and then look through their lives afterward. It's like I have three here, and then I got 2 here, and I always forget to add the other third one. And a little less detailed down here. It's also at an angle, so it's harder to see. And then I have these wrought iron fences on the bottom too. They have a little bit of, that's a little bit far down. Oh well. Oh well. And let's get like the top is more defined, then it just kind of gets a little less as it goes down. I don't know if it's just because I'm a little tired by the time it gets to the bottom part or what. And now this side is a little bit darker because it has the shadows on here. At least that's how it was on the building. I'll put a little bit of light shadowing on here so I know where I'm doing it later on when I come back in. Do some light shadowing here. Textured it in later. And I have to think about where will most of the shadows gather. Underneath here a little bit. A little bit more detail, and under here a little bit. And underneath the seals. And on the side here. Yeah. And these trees are far away, so they won't be throwing shadows. Although I want to put shadows underneath the tree, I don't really need to. And the shadows will be under here, though. And this is also from a distance, so you're not going to be seeing a whole lot of detailed shadow, but this is where there's actually a shadow of this here going across the top, which I'll put in. All right, let's move this over a little bit and see if I can get some of this lower part. I'll get some more shadow underneath here a little bit. There's a kind of a cutout. I didn't get a good picture of this one. I'll have to go and see. I'll have to zoom in on my picture because I know there's like some other, I think there might be one here too, next to the wall. Where it has a little brick coming out of it. I'll have like two and then one, I think. It might be misremembering words. Make sure that's about the right height, and then there's some other ones here, and I know these kind of step in. I'll have to look at my picture a little bit. I'm not sure how that works. But. And then they have the gazebo right in the center that's lined up perfectly with the rest of the temple. Sorry I didn't do any announcements. I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing Uber or what, because Uber was like really kicking off earlier. It was like $21. I didn't pick anything up, so I was like, well, dang it. But I waited around to see if my area would get some high surges, but I didn't really get anything, so I'm like, okay, I guess I will start and get some reflectors in the light. And then this is some more over here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you're into the art thing, don't be subscribing just because someone tells you to subscribe. But if it's something you're actually interested in and you want to see some art and somebody who's just learning how to do stuff and having it developed over time, then go and check my channel out. I would really, really appreciate it. Leave some kind words and encouragement. Show me some of your pictures. If you do anything, just show me what you do as well. I would love it. I love to see other people's artworks. I got an email in there, so feel free to send me some of your artwork, as long as it's age appropriate. And I know I'm 46, but still, I don't want to see anything that I don't want to see that's going to scar me for the rest of my life. I need to make sure this window is the same height as the other ones. I don't know if those are actually looking like that, but I'm going to say that's what they look like. They're all kind of wedgy, triangle looking thingies. I know there's like another floor down here, but I think that's about as far as they can get on the, because they had the wrought iron from where I was standing. I might have to do some lives, but with some like Red Dead or something like that. Some of my video games I don't get a chance to play, and I figure if I do some live ones, at least I can get able to play them. Some of the bottom one on there. It goes all the way across. I love this ruler. Should be another one right. Oh no, I guess it's not. All right. I think there should be another window right here. Should we have it the same? Make sure I'm not in the screenshot in the screen. I'll have to look at my picture later on. I think I'm missing one. It should be right here. Glad I did this in pencil first. I think there should be one right here too. I don't think it has the extra ball on top in real life, but it looked odd without it, so it does now. Let's see if I can move this over and get the gazebo in there a little bit. And start getting some of this up here. I might end up have to either do some off-screen one or take some shading videos and watch how to do it, and then come back and do another one. I was doing some tutorials. It was actually just in a magazine. It was pretty good, and it kind of helped getting the outline and layup, and width and stuff to get it done properly. Now, I don't know if I can do it every time, but hopefully in the future I'll find an easier and faster way to do it. But that's why you do it. And I know these have like, I think this is like a metal bronze type of roof. At least it looks bronze. Oops, I screwed up on that side. Totally meant to do that, right? Totally didn't just screw up. I totally screwed up. I think one of these other times I'll do an Easter one. I'm drawing a bunny or something. I'll have to look at some pictures. I know there's some trees and stuff in here that's blooming. That I want to leave up so I have an idea. I'd love to go in this gazebo. It looks really cool. It's huge. I know a lot of when they have the weddings, they do a lot of wedding pics in here. If I had room for one that was this big in my yard would not fit anything like this size. But I always wanted to have a gazebo. I didn't know what I'd do with one, but it seems like a good idea to have. Let's move this over a little bit and start looking on the other side. Yeah, it looks pretty good in just plain old ink. Ink. Yes. Let's get this. Ah, my legs are glued to the chair. I need a better chair. This chair sucks. Draw me a pretty building, draw me a pretty building. How did I do those windows? Okay, I'm like, how did I do them? Okay, just simple. They almost look like an A. Yeah, I know I could make this completely uniform with rulers and everything, but I didn't feel like it. I want it to look like it's actually handmade. I should move that thing over a little bit because I didn't actually have I had the brick thing over here, and then I had the window over a little bit more, so I'm going to do that. That one's still kind of spaced. That one's still kind of spaced a bit too far away. That's okay. This window's a little bit on the big side over here. Yeah, these windows, God. That looks like it's cracked. And I shouldn't be able to see it that far. I'm like in the parking lot taking this picture, so. And those windows should not be that big. Oh, we're not far enough over. Dang it. Oh well. Yeah, this is gonna look odd on this side. That should have moved over. Slightly smaller. I could tell I was like at the night at just wanting to draw them because they look really odd. Oh, I have to white that out a little bit. That looks really odd. That looks awful. That looks awful. I don't know if I have something I can white it out with. It should have a brick thing on this side. Let's move this over a little bit so I can draw this side. Got that tree coming over. And I kind of lost the roof of this. I think I should be able to get some of the bricks in on the side. Right under here. Get some. Ow. Not too many people interested in buildings. Yeah, it's okay. This is for me. Because I want to learn how to draw buildings. This one has the stained glass in it. There we go. Let's get this one in here. This almost looks like a SketchUp of a bigger project. Actually, it might actually be. I might redo this one once I learn how to do like either full on watercolor or and do it more less sketchy. And then I'll have to go back to the temple and get a better look at it too. See what I need to add, what is okay. Get some close-up shots. That's probably one of my favorite buildings. Just too pretty. I know people like draw them all the time and stuff. I went into a art studio the other day and it's like, oh my God, some of these are freaking ugly. How can they be selling some of this stuff that much money? I haven't had as much practice, but some of my shit looks better than that. And that says a lot. I barely know how to shadow, and some of theirs are very two-dimensional and just like they ran out of product. And then I forget. I'll have to look on my. I don't know if the shadows are on this side or that side. I think they're on actually on the inside, but all the shadows are going that way. And I forgot to write that's the building over here, and that is kind of sideways. Let's get the tree in here, and I'll get some of the gates in there, and then I'll work on this on shadowing it up a little bit and on my own when I can get a better look at the picture so I can see where all the shadows are. And then erase some of the pencil marks on here. And then I'll start experimenting with watercolor I don't know if I want to do acrylics or watercolor on this. Probably acrylic would look good on it. And there's like puffballs everywhere. Get some. You work on the tree. There's like a lot of shrubbery down there, so I'm not going to go too far down. I can't remember what it looked like over there, so I'm just doing like some sort of design. Some sort of design in there. I want to say everything's a typical accident. I'll just see if my friend's online, and I might have to do some video games, either some Valheim or some Red Dead. Or some Dead Polly. I don't know. Or just veg out, take a nap. Or see if there's any surges going on in town and want to try to make $400 this week off of Uber. I'm almost there. I'm like $20 away. Alright, let's move this over. This is going to be having a lot of greenery on the bottom, so I'm not too detailed. I might just fill them in with black. I want more of the church kind of more in focus, and then kind of everything on the outside kind of out of focus, though. And then everything else kind of like in color here, and then on the bottom. Thumbnail designer rushed. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been just gradually learning. I love when people leave comments. Thank you so much. Thumbnail designer rushed. I'll have to see if he has anything on his channel himself. Maybe he does thumbnails, you think? Or does he got a fetish for thumbnails? Yeah, it's like everything else is detailed, and then the fence is just there. Alright. Okay, this one's kind of open. I'm gonna call that good for today. I've been on for, ooh, no, I don't know, a little bit. About an hour. Okay, that's not bad. I'll try to do it for an hour and a half. Let's see if we can do a full picture of what it looks like. Oh. Oh. There we go. There's a full picture of it. Whoop. Not that. There we go. Maybe you can see my. Well, I'll just screen across. How's that? I'll just pan across. Here it is for today. My Sunday life. That was fun. I said I'll work on shadows on this on my own time, and then when I get it about where as far as I'm gonna have it, I wanted it to do it in a little sketchy style, because you know, when you're not a professional, doing it in a sketchy, messy style is always a good way, but it's most definitely a building. So hey, made it. All right, thank you everybody for who has popped in and popped out. I probably got about 20 people that popped in and popped out for a little bit. And thank you, Thumbnail, for leaving a comment. I appreciate everybody who leaves comments and thumbs ups and or even just anything. Today was kind of quiet, but hey, that's all right. All right, I will see you next time. Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate it. And if you like to like and subscribe to the Pynn Fool Life, it is most appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Bye.